pump, reset, edit. Edit, pump, reset, edit. Side jumps are going to be the fastest ways to catch your opponent off guard while going up.
Okay.
Having it in your playbook and being fluid with it is very important. So like, if you know how to do a certain thing, challenge yourself to do something that you don't know how to do. You as a player should incorporate this because I know you can. Okay, hello. Today we are doing another personal member VOD review. We've got my guy Ceice. We're about to call him. It's just going to be a one-on-one, just me and him. I do these constantly in the Ceice Thesis Discord. So if you're not in here, we do group VOD reviews, member VOD reviews, and then we do just one-on-ones. So, hey, this is going to be one of the first times I'm doing this as a recording, but let's get into it. Simply just D, cone, D, like you're just infinite.
Oh my god. What? That's insane. Okay.
It's just what you did.
It's just the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, you're just putting a cone on top.
Crazy though.
Try to like.
So do I go forward a little bit more so I can get above the ramp, or should I place the ramp like later? Because I'm phasing through it. So when I'm going, I should probably go like this. Oh, I should be like back more then, like here.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's why like now you have the fundamentals. You can be like, oh wait, why did I go under? And then you just do what you just did. It's good. So just keep going. You want to get this down to be like infinite or near perfect. I have done this with some people and they've had trouble going to the right and they prefer the left. So if you prefer the left, that's another thing that we're gonna end up going over is like, now you got the right down, do it to the left infinitely. And it is a little trickier for me because my cone is Q. So
I'm gonna get this. If I can get it like 5 times in a row, I'm crazy at the game.
It's gonna be muscle memory, right? Once you get to the sweet spot, you'll know where it is on the cone without, you only have to look for it when you're doing it, right? Like you just know. The next big part of this, by the way, is crosshair placement. I don't know what your crosshair placement is, but
I'm kind of getting it. I just gotta stop pressing Alt. That's my issue right now, because I'll press space and Alt on accident because my thumb's right next to it.
I mean, you can do a regular side jump, right?
Oh, yeah, easily. No, or not. What?
Like that's diagonal again. You see what you just did?
Just normal side jump.
That's diagonal.
I guess not.
Look at my screen.
I have not learned that mechanic.
Diagonal side jumps, anytime your character is moving diagonal, right? Like this is a diagonal side jump. And whether you go under the ramp or not, this is a diagonal side jump as well. Doesn't matter. Like diagonals is diagonal. A side jump, a regular side jump is when your character, you switch your direction from this way
like
to this way.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're doing it like you can jump on this side of the ramp. Side jumps is like number one and most important thing. I thought you knew side jumps, but I mean, if you master diagonals, then you can get side jumps very simply. They're very similar. But yeah, dude, learning side jumps, learning diagonal jumps are all going to be a really important mechanic to know. There's levels to it, so like eventually you want to be able to always side jump with the walls, right? So then you're going to just do this, right? Or you diagonal with walls, right? So you do diagonals with walls, and then you're doing a side jump with walls, where you're just wall, side jump, wall, side jump, wall. Like you wouldn't do this repeatedly because this is just not how, but it's the mechanic practice of it. Again, it's a formula of how fast you just get up, right? Like you're doing this, right? I'm getting distance from the opponent while I'm cranking up quickly. Like I just did that in 2 seconds and I'm above the guy in 2 seconds. And so it's like, it's not so much of, let me do this into this, into this, into this, into a stair, into flip. Like it's not that, but you do need to know how to do those things. Like you're seeing how I'm not perfectly executing them, but I'm able to execute them if I really wanted to. And so that's why I'm talking about like having it in your playbook and being fluid with it is very important. So like if you know how to do a certain thing, challenge yourself to do something that you don't know how to do. Side jumps are going to be the fastest ways to catch your opponent off guard while going up. Okay. But no, like you need to know how to do all of that. It's just slowly building your playbook up so you can do these things quickly and without having to think. Like I'm just hitting it if I want to hit it. Doing whatever I want to do. So let's get you into speed realistics, and I'm just going to take notes and you just do your thing, right?
Yep.
Focus on trying to win 100% of these rounds. Your goal is to win every round.
Oh my god, that's going to be interesting. Oh, I was trying to reset that. Shoot, because I didn't get my pump timing. Oh, it sucks. Okay.
All right, well, last round here.
All right.
Okay. So I've got a bunch of notes first thing that I want to teach you is another mechanic routine that like you can build in your arsenal. It's all about like memorizing to be like, okay, I need to practice this, this, and this. Like building these all into your like your playbook is going to be huge for being more consistent in realistics and end game and fighting in general. High wall, right? I don't know if I'm sure you've heard the term. Maybe you do it. I just never saw you really do it.
I need to do it.
But these two things I'm about to tell you are things that like with your mechanical skill set, like I'm not even saying that that's a bad thing. Like I'm just looking at you as a player should incorporate this because I know you can. Like you said your things are like this where you're going up. Like this is you, and like that's fine. This could still be you. This could still be the best pro like player in the world. This could be Asian Jeff. Like, but he's gonna throw in these very simple things like the high wall and being able to do these. Like it's very, very, very simple. You're just literally just high walling up. Like I'm seeing you do a lot of like, you go like this, and then you go like this. But to be able to like go up and then come up from here and high wall, I messed it up. But like, edit up, right? Box, edit, box, and then throw up a high wall and then jump up again, right? Like I just like the high wall is super handy. You got to be able to pull it out like a ton more. Like high wall there, like whenever you can, high wall, side jump, high wall, like you're flowing and you're just jumping to the side, right? And you just toss up a high wall. Like it's very simple. Just always making sure you're putting a high wall. And then when you're doing that, you're like editing a cone through a window, like things like that. Window peaks are super important as well. So high walls, high walls, high walls. That's a very easy mechanic that you know how to do, and you just need to incorporate it. The next thing is a Thwifo cone. I'm sure there's other terms for it, but maybe you also know it as a Thwifo cone. He's an OG Fortnite player. And like,
I heard Thwifo cone.
Okay, so Thwifo cones are super simple. You probably have already done it before, and you've seen people do it. It's literally just this. It's turning around, putting walls, and putting a cone. Because this is like infinite. This is like when you're going like this, and you're like protecting yourself, and you're doing infinite like triple edits up. It's like that's the same protection that you can get from just doing a Thwifo cone. It's like, right? It's like I can do the triple edit, or I can do a Thwifo cone, or I can do this, or I can do that. Like I have 15 things I can do that will get me this exact same thing, or I can do this. Right, where you put the cones above. Like it's like okay, so you told me to do side jumps 10 times. Like let me just do 1, 2, 3. Am I in height? No. Okay, 4. Like that's not how you do it, right? Like it's like you go up. Like that's why when I was talking about being fluid, it's like you're going up, you're hitting here, like and then in this process of me turning around, I'm looking at you, okay, and then I'm coming here again. Thwifo cone looking at you, right? Like all these little glances is giving me better audio cues, and it's giving me vision on you, even if it's like through a build like this. Like, you know, I can't see you, but I can maybe kind of see like a glimpse of you jumping right there. I'm like, okay, go up again, high wall, like all those things. Like high walls and Thwifo cones are giving you visibility. Like you have to, in order to high wall, you have to high wall towards the opponent. Like if the opponent's here, you're not going to high wall like this, right? You're going to high wall looking like this towards the guy. You're not going to high wall, I don't know, looking like this. There's no point of high walling here if the guy's behind you. So those two things get you visibility on the opponent, and also are just two mechanical things you need to throw into your playstyle. So high wall, Thwifo cone, those are the two things. The next things are they're all cone tricks, and so there's a lot here, or there's 3 main ones that I didn't see you pull out, but I think that these are again very simple mechanics that like you could easily incorporate these into your own playstyle. And it's probably a ton of words for these and different ways to explain them, but the ways I've always explained them is cone over wall. It's as simple as it sounds. Is literally just, can you consistently put a cone over the wall? I'm taking height against somebody, cone over wall. And like you said, I heard you say, which was great to hear, like this creates a layer, a gap layer. Like you can't, now no one is on that layer, so now you do it again, and this creates another gap layer, and then you do it again, and that's a gap layer, and the player eventually, you're gonna have height, cone, and a high wall, and that's very simple. And so like all I'm doing is it's build timing, right? Like you're seeing how I'm jumping, and technically like right there I wasn't on anything. It's build timing. I'm cones, and then I put ramp. The same thing. Like another thing you can practice for build timing is, this isn't a useful mechanic. This used to be useful like 4 years ago. Is turn around and then ramp first. Here, I'll do it in full speed. So
I also do those. I tried to get rid of them because they've been getting me shot in the back.
It's just build timing practice. You're just looking around, and you're just turning around, ramp first, then yours. Because normally it used to look like this, right?
Yeah.
This is just an old mechanic. This is obviously outdated now. But yeah, so cone over wall, right? Like being able to do this, right? And then understanding like the cone edit trick, like this, right? Like this is the same thing. So you can be like, you could be boxed and put it over the wall like this, right? Like it's often easier to do it like this too, right? Where you're just looking, right? Boom, another layer space.
Sometimes you'll do it on
jump over the wall. So yeah, you're seeing cone over wall, super chill mechanic, something that's super important to master. Like it's very, it's like the way that I teach it a lot is just literally go in creative and build this. Just start with this wall, like very simple, and come back and say, okay, all right, I got my setup. Over wall, over wall, over wall, over wall. Like you're just looking at it. You're like, okay, looking down, over wall. You're jumping. Maybe you're putting a cone on the last one, and you're like, you're practicing like, you know, what does it look like to look? What does it look like to jump and hit it? What does it look like to, you know, build a wall and hit it? Like, can you do this consistently? Can you just build? You know what I'm saying? So just practice cone over wall. It's a really simple mechanic to do. And then the next thing is cone sliding. So it's as simple as it probably sounds. It's literally just
so like say you're right next to someone and they're boxed up, you can just slide a cone through the corner.
Yeah, you slide a cone right to the bottom. Right?
Okay. Or through the bottom. I didn't know about the bottom.
Yeah, so you're seeing I'm putting brick cones in all of these here just by it's all about the angle you're looking at, right? And so like this is maybe a bit of a trickier mechanic. You see how I'm having to like adjust my crosshair. I'm having to put a cone there, but yeah, it's all about your crosshair placement. And that's why again I'm teaching you, like trying to teach you crosshair control and crosshair placement and how important it can be. Because you don't want to be like, oh, let me go fight this guy with no cone in the box. Let me do the cone trick that Ceice taught me. Like, let me look down and find this angle, and then gotta look back up, and like it's not like you know, it's you just gotta get these things down so they're simple and easy. But yeah, so being able to do them in creative on your own is different than being able to do them in a 1v1, and it's different than being able to do them in game. And so there's all those levels again to practicing mechanics, and same thing like with any piece, with any trick. Like I can teach you this 100 times, you can master it in creative by yourself, and then when we do it, it might be hard, and you just have to build it up. It's just the process. Yeah, so that's cone sliding. The next thing is cone pre-piece. Another thing I didn't see you pull out, but I'm sure you've seen done. So imagine like he's boxed. You're about to fight him. Let me do a little cone pop over the head.
Like
right? Boom. Cone pre-piece, right? Like can you do this? And it's as simple as you're just literally boxing somebody and you're just saying, okay, boom, pre-piece. Like it's like the easiest way to practice this is you can set up boxes. Like you can literally just come over here and set up like 1x1s, and then come over here and be like, oh, I'm gonna pre-piece them. Boom. Like you can practice, like sure you can do that, but it's the simplest way I've found is literally just tarping, and you're just like coming out here like this, and you see how all I'm doing is tarping, but I'm just pre-piecing in my tarp. And like
gonna make it like a double piece, right?
Yeah, this isn't something you would do in game. This is to practice like the pre-piecing and like how fast you can like do this angle where I'm like here, but I'm
I completely get it now. Yeah,
right, because the whole thing when you set up a fight is like someone's boxed up, right? Like you want to be able to just come to the wall here and, you know, put some damage down, spray the wall, right?
Yeah.
And then eventually, right, put some pre-piece out, and now you can smack the wall from here, and then boom, reset. Oh, he's gonna jump this way. I'm down here, pump out. What's he gonna do? Pre-piece. Like if he runs out, and then like the whole point is you're quick, you're snappy, and you're able to like pre-piece it, and then, you know, come back and flick on him and kill him when he edits on you, or do whatever you want to do. So pre-piece is super important, like mastering cone pre-piece. And then the next two things, and I'm sure you've heard of these things in the mechanics map if you've played them, is peak training. Super important. Peak training is probably the #1 way to improving your fighting IQ that I've found. Peak training is super important. Like that's fighting IQ in a sense. Like,
so it's like when you make a peanut butter and you hold the left.
Edits, like I can edit like this. Am I gonna get hit? Yes. If I go here, am I gonna get hit? No.
Yeah.
Am I gonna get hit if I do this? Yes. What about this? No. Like, and then the peak training trains you for that, right? So like you could practice like here. Oh, I'm barely visible. Let me just go and hit from here. It's like you just keep practicing your peaks. So peak training is super important, and then always cone and box. You never ever make an edit without a cone and box. Like you have to have this cone. There's a lot of times where like you would edit it and the guy would just be like in your face, or he'd be right here. And then I guess the next point that I didn't write in my notes, let me write this down, is edit, pump, reset, edit. So edit, pump, reset, edit. Like that has to be 100% of the time you do it. Like I saw you fight that guy, like edit, pump, reset, edit. You have to always edit your cone. That's why you don't have a stare, because you're not going to be like edit, pump, reset. Like it's edit, pump, reset, edit, pump, reset, edit. You have to be like, even if you miss a shot, or even if you're going for like a wall bait, right, where you're like trying to get my wall, see what you do, right? Like you're holding it. I don't know if you're zero ping, but it doesn't matter, right? You can still do wall baits. You're doing it. You have to always be quick and easy. Pump, reset, boom. Like, or let's say you're going for surge tags in a stack lobby. Okay, got him. All right, boom. Like you don't want to go like this. got him, reset, and then just turn around, and then he's gonna, you know, or even just look at him. He's gonna spray you through the wall, or snipe you through the wall, right? So it's always
Gotcha.
quick, snappy. Always, always, always. If you're pumping somebody, cone. Let's say you're gonna cone this guy, right here. You're gonna go. Like you have to, and then you can go full box. Like you can do whatever you want to do, but you have to get in the mechanic of like pumping and looking down. That's why positioning is super important. You're not going to go for an edit like this, right? Same with peak control. You're not going to edit this because multiple reasons. Your positioning on your cone is bad and your peak is bad. So instead, you're going to come back here, edit from here, or maybe do a better edit like this, edit, and then do this. Because you can't, if you edit like this, it's very hard to, like, you have to do that kind of maneuver where you're like jumping up, right? If you don't jump up, you're going to go under. So you have to jump up and go back. And you have to find that sweet spot, and that's muscle memory, just like the side jump is. Where like, if I edit here, am I going to go under? If I edit here, am I going to go above? You know? Or I think I should go above. Yeah.
Well, I have a question real quick.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about this, like when you were doing edit, pump, reset, edit. When you're in a box and you have your cone and floor above you,
yep.
Can you single edit both of those, place a wall, place a cone, and then get free piece from there? And then you can probably pump them reset? Would that work or no? If they're on your wall above you?
What do you mean?
Like if they're right above you, pretty much where you're aiming, and they're trying to break in. So they have your cone, so then you double edit, place a wall, just like you did right there.
Yeah,
and then would you be able to also place a cone and reset? Would that be okay or no?
Like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, the tip that I've always been taught and learned is if someone's on your wall, right? Let's say like the brick guy he's on my wall, right? Simple as the exact mechanic I taught you of the cone over wall is, oh, he's on my wall, he's smacking me. Okay, you're gonna have your thing like this, or you can just sit like this and kind of wait, because like there's a timing, right? Like, you know, if he hits on his first try, he can't just get in, right? Now he can get in, so now you're probably gonna want to be like editing your cone, but you just simply. All that was is I edited it up, which you know how to do, and you slapped a cone over, and then you slapped them over, and then boom, I'm up. You see how simple that is?
Yeah.
You're boxed up, the brick or the wood ramp guy's on your wall, boom. And like, yeah, he could probably come up here and like, he could probably predict it, right? And put a wall up. You don't have to put a wall, but if you're quick enough in it, right? Like if you're fast enough, you can easily, or you can always do a over the wall like that. Like that's fine.
Yeah, that happens to me a lot in freaking turtle fights or turtle wars.
Yeah, just stopping a cone over when someone's smacking your thing.
Yeah.
Boom, and then you're up. Easy peasy. High wall, Wi-Fi cone over wall, cone and box always, peak training, cone sliding, cone pre-piece, edit, pump, reset, edit. Those are the things that like, and then of course like the diagonal jumps, side jumps, like mastering those and knowing the difference between them and knowing how to go under the ramp, side jump under the ramp, diagonal jump under the ramp, diagonal jump on top of the ramp, side jump on top of the ramp, side jump into a 90, side jump into a diagonal jump into a 90. Like there's all of them, a bunch of different combinations there. And so those are just like, those are my notes. I think, I think this is probably extremely helpful. I think that I gave a lot.
I think so too, honestly. Because if I can get these all down, then that gives me a really big play set to use.
That is it. That is fighting, coaching, fighting help, fighting practice, things you guys can take from this and improve yourself. Yeah, he's definitely got a good base. I think a lot of you guys have a great base to start with, but it's just learning those small things that you can add to your playbook, like I mentioned a lot. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of you guys maybe even know everything I'm listing here, but the common denominator is adding more to your playbook. So if you know how to do everything I mentioned and more, find a way to add something else to your playbook. Maybe that means you're doing something only at a certain POI or only in game or only with X amount of mats, like things like that. Like how could you retake with only 100 builds? What are you going to do? So it's like building your playbook up will help you be able to be a better fighter, have better mechanics, simple things like that. So yeah, that's all. And I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys later. All right. Peace.
Cool. Professional coach. I watch this guy. He knows everything.